Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today's project, we're going to be replacing a light fixture that was in a bathroom that was just an outdated fixture, and we're going to be replacing it with a more modern style fixture. Now, this is the light fixture that I'm going to be installing. You're probably looking at it saying, what the heck is that? But there's another piece that screws onto it over here, which we will put on later on. Now, what I did already, just so you know, I removed the previous light fixture that was up in this location here. I took it off and I mounted our new bracket that came with the fixture on there. It's only a matter of putting in 2 screws right here to hold it in place. As you can see, our wires are right here from the old fixture. We made sure that the power is turned off, not just in the light switch, but in the circuit breaker box itself. So it's off now. But if you're not sure if it's off, you can use something called a non-contact voltage tester. You turn it on, you hold it near the wires. If it starts beeping, then you know the wire's alive. But as I said, I know that the power is off because I had my assistant turn it off at the fuse box. Let me just show you what kind of tools you're going to need down here. Now, as you can see, we have a little bit of a mess going on here because we are repainting the bathroom as well. We're going to need something, a regular screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, possibly some electrical tape, a pair of cutting pliers, and a pair of pliers like this to cut the wires and strip back the insulation if needed. Now, we're not going to need it, but you might have to. And what that would do is you take the wire itself like this, and you would come in here and you would strip back the insulations to expose the new wire in here. But as you can see, the new fixture already came stripped back already. But if you needed to, that's how you would strip the wires without damaging the thread, the wiring inside here. All right, so first thing we're going to do now is we're going to unwrap how it was sent to me. And just so you know, we're going to connect a white wire to a white wire. This is going to connect to a ground screw, which is on our bracket, which I'll show you. And the other one, which is the black wire, believe it or not, is going to be connecting to a red wire because the red wire is being fed from the switch on the wall right here. All right, let's get up there, let's connect this up, and let's get this job done. So the first thing we're going to do now is, remember, we have this red wire and we have these 2 white wires. The white wires are going to be connected together, and it's going to be connected with this white wire here as well. All right, so as I said, we have our bracket in the wall already. We tightened it up so that it's snug. Ideally, we'd like to have this fit up onto the drywall itself, but the previous person cut a very big hole in the wall for one reason or another, and now we are stuck dealing with what's there versus repairing it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to connect our ground wire. We're going to screw it out partially just like that. We're going to take our ground wire, which is this one right here. We're going to take this ground wire and we're going to loop it around in a clockwise position because as we tighten that screw, we want this wire to pull tighter. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it, we're going to wrap it around. I'm going to do this and I'll show you in a second. We wrap it around just like that, and then we just screw it down tight. Okay, so that's nice and tight. Next thing we're going to do now is we're going to take our black wire, or red, whichever you prefer to do first, and we're going to put it around here just like this. We're going to hold it with one hand. I know it's tough to see. We're going to grab one of our wire nuts that came with it, and we're going to screw it on here like this, and screw it down as tight as you can by hand. No tool needed to tighten it, just use your hands. Nice and tight. And once it's tight, before you finish, just take the wire and give it a tug and make sure it's in there nice and tight. I can't tell you how many times I've come into a problem where this wire is not tight. I pull it and it pops right out. That'll give you a flickering light. All right, so make sure that is nice and tight, which it is. Next, we're going to come up to these wires right here. We're going to take this wire, we're going to wrap it like this. We're going to take this one. Let me get a pair of pliers. We are going to wrap this a little bit tighter because I don't like it being loose like that. So we're just going to twist it around just like this so that these wires are now tight like that. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to take our other wire now, put it around here, hold it in place like this, just like that. Take our wire nut and screw it on over the top, as tight as you possibly can by hand again. Again, give it a tug, make sure it's nice and tight, which it is. And now we're going to take a little bit of electrical tape and we're going to wrap this with electrical tape. And normally you don't see me wrapping it with electrical tape, but in this case that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so everything is connected on the way it's supposed to be now. Our white is on the white. Our black is connected to our red because it's being controlled by this switch. Now we can take these and we can recess them back into this hole here, or it'll be hidden up inside this panel right up in here. So we're just going to push them in just a little bit, just like this. And that's good enough right now. We're going to take our light fixture, and remember the screw is here and here to hold it in place. We're just going to take it up, lift it up in here. We're going to grab our screws and catch one in here and one up on top right here. Now I want to point this out to you. We're working over a drain, so make sure you have the drain closed up so that you don't accidentally drop your screw down the drain. Okay, so now we do have our two screws caught in there, and really, truthfully, the top one was a pain in the rear end getting it in because you can't see. The bottom you can, but the top you can't. In this case, we took a mirror, just held a mirror up here, just so we could see that that hole lined up, and then the screw went in quick and easy. All right, so let's screw these down. We're going to evenly screw them down because you don't want to distort the fixture itself. Okay, it's nice and tight. We take our two ends and we're going to screw them in here just like this. I will recommend that you hold the fixture because you're going to have a lot of weight on the one side and no weight on the other. So we're just going to screw these in while holding it. Okay, so they're both on, ready to go. So let's tighten these screws up one more time here. We're going to turn our power supply back on, and we're going to make sure that this new fixture works. Okay. Okay, let's turn our power supply on, and we'll see what happens. Okay, now if we did our job correctly, we turned our power supply on. We're going to flip the switch, and we'll make sure it works. And as you can see, it works just the way it's supposed to. All right, I know it's kind of a glare to you, but that's it. Let me just shut it off. And that's it. All right, so as you can see, replacing the light fixture itself is really not that difficult. This one would have been a lot easier had the person before us not made that hole so big in the wall, because that created a bit of a problem for us. But that's it. This job is done, and we're on to the next one. If you like this video, please subscribe down below. There's a subscription button. When you subscribe, the bell will come up, and you can pick personal preferences. If you like to be notified of future uploads, you can pick it when that bell comes up. That's it. This job is done, and we're on to the next one. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.